Very good morning, students. Welcome back to biology classes. We are discussing about diversity in the living world. Under that, we have discussed in previous part the importance of the nomenclature, and also we have seen the classification of the organisms into different taxons. In this part, we would like to discuss about the importance of the classification. So, importance of classification. Very important concept. Why do we need to classify the organism? That is the importance. Means what is the necessity? For what purpose we have to classify the organisms into different taxons or categories? That is we are going to discuss. And the first thing is it helps in identification. Identification of organisms. That is the main thing. The very important is the identification of organisms, and it also helps to understand diversity in the organisms. How the diversity, that is variation, is occurred. So to know that, we used to study by using the classification, and also it also helps to understand. It also helps in understanding the organisms and study the characteristic features, the similarities of the features, and also difference between different organisms. For that purpose also we need to classify, and also how they were grouped. It helps to understand. How the organisms grouped into categories. Different categories. That is another importance of the classification. And another importance is how how the relation is found in between the different groups of the organisms. That is the interrelationship between the different group of organisms. It helps to understand interrelationship among the different organisms of different groups or different categories. These are the very importance of classification. So main thing is it helps us to identify the organisms. For identification of the organisms, we do need to classify the organisms, and it is also helps us to understand the diversity in the organisms, how the difference is found in between the organisms, and how they are showing the variation. That is we can call the understanding of the organisms, and also it helps to study the features, their characteristic features, And similarities, is there any similar characteristics is found in between the organisms? And what are the differences found in between different organisms? That also we can study by using the classification only. And it also helps us to understand how the organisms are grouped into different categories. Means what factor make to classify the organisms into different taxons or different systems or different organisms. That is the thing. And it also helps us to know the interrelationship among the different organisms of different groups. What is their relation in between them? Is there any similarities makes them to appear the similarities? And to know the kind of similarities in between the different organisms of different groups, we need to classify the organisms into different categories. This is the one. The most important concept is the classification of organism. One is identification. Remember, for what purpose? Identification, and helps in the diversity among the organisms, and helps in the study the features like similarities and difference of different organisms. That is one more thing. And it helps us to understand how they were grouped. How they were grouped. On what basis they were grouped into different categories. And also helps him to study the interrelationship among the different organisms of different group. In this way we can see the importance of the classification. Understand? This is about a classification and its importance. Next, let us see how the organisms are classified, how they are grouped, and who made the classification in the first. That is, we would like to discuss right now. Earlier, in the beginning of the formation of the earth, all our living things are found. So there is no differences in between the living organisms. So to understand these organisms, they have to be grouped into different groups. So for that purpose, Aristotle, he used to classify all the living organisms into two categories or two taxons. All the plants in one category and all the animals are under one category. Understand? That is the first classification made by the Aristotle. The first classification was made by Aristotle. And he made two kingdoms. He made two kingdoms of classification. He is the first scientist to group organisms into two groups is Aristotle, and he grouped all the organisms into plants and animals. He grouped all the organisms into plants and animals. Again, he made all the plants into three categories. One is tree, shrub, and herb. This is what we can see the classification of the plants into three categories made by Aristotle. And animals he made into red-blooded animals and non-red-blooded animals. So he made animals as red-blooded animals and non-red-blooded animals, means other than red-blooded. They may be consisting of white in color or maybe presence of in blue in color. That is what in differences of the blood color also found. So that's why they classified all the animals into red-blooded animals and non-red-blooded animals. This is the classification of animals made by the Aristotle. Here, by seeing their morphological, means their appearance of characters, he allowed to group the organisms into plants and animals. But he did not take all the characters which are found in plants and animals. He did not consider in an account all the characteristics of the plants and animals in the classification. Understand? That is the thing. And after Aristotle, Linnaeus, he also made two kingdom classification, and all the plants he made into Plantae and Animalia. All the plants are in one group and all the animals are in another group. And later on, Haeckel, he made three kingdom classification. He made three kingdom classification. Under that, he added some of the prokaryotic organisms, even though they are consisting of plant characteristics like presence of cell wall as well as presence of photosynthetic character. So he allowed to make all the microorganisms like bacteria were into different categories. That is in prokaryote, in protista. And as usual, he followed the Plantae and Animalia. So from the animals, the protista was separated, the bacteria were separated and placed in one new category, that is protista. And this group was made by Haeckel. By whom? Haeckel. Understand? That is the one thing. And next, later on, Haeckel, another scientist named as Copeland, who made four kingdom classification. Under that, he added some of the plants which are photosynthetic and consisting of like animal characteristics. Understand? And they were made into different groups, and that was made into Monera, and that was made by the Copeland. And as usual, continuation from protista. And next, Plantae. And next, Animalia. In this way, now from 3 to 4 kingdom classification was made by the Copeland. And next, 5 kingdom classification, which was made by Whittaker. And he made 5 kingdom classification. Under 5 kingdom classification, he allows to separate non-green plants. He separated non-green plants, that is multicellular, eukaryotic, non-photosynthetic plants like fungi. They are plants, but they are not carrying the photosynthesis due to the absence of the chlorophyll. That's why they are non-photosynthetic organism. That's why even though they consisting of the plant characteristics like presence of cell wall, and they are also multicellular, and they are also consisting of organ system as well as they consisting of different organelles in the cell. But what is not present is photosynthesis process is not occurred. That's why the fungi group was separated from the plants. So we will continue as usually like protista. Next, Monera. And next, fungi made by the Whittaker. And next, as usual, Plantae. Next, Animalia. In this way, we will find all the organisms are mainly classified or grouped into 5 kingdoms, and the R.H. Whittaker's classification was widely accepted everywhere. Whittaker classification is widely accepted. Understand? And later on, in the protista, there are different types of bacteria are there. Modern bacteria and ancient bacteria. Due to this variation, the protista group again made into 2 different groups and formed as 6 kingdom classification. It is formed as a 6 kingdom classification, and which was made by Woese. He made six kingdom classification. Here instead of Protista, he allowed to divide the bacteria into two categories like Archaebacteria and another group is Cyanobacteria. This is what the Protista group is classified into two other kingdoms. And next, as usual, from Monera. And next, Protista. Sorry, fungi. And next, plantae and Animalia. In this way, we can find the sixth kingdom classification which was made by the Woos. Understand? In this way, we find different categories of the organisms which was made by the different scientists. We have seen totally six classifications which were made by six different types of scientists. Is it right? First, Aristotle, he made all the organisms into plants and animals. Later on, Linnaeus also he called them as plant and animalia. And in this group from the animal group, the microorganisms like bacteria were separated by the Haeckel, prokaryotic unicellular. Prokaryotic unicellular. This is the characteristics of the Protista, that's why they were separated from the Animalia. And Copeland, he made fourth kingdom is Monera, and which are the animals which are photosynthetic in nature. Understand? That is the separately they made in Monera group. These are the photosynthetic prokaryotic unicellular. These are the photosynthetic prokaryotic unicellular. Like we can take Euglena, slime molds. These are under the Monera group added. And later on, Whittaker, he separated non-green plants, eukaryotic multicellular organisms which are non-photosynthetic, means they do not prepare their own food, and they were separated under fungi. And next, Protista, they consisting of ancient bacteria and modern bacteria. So he divided Protista into Archaebacteria and Cyanobacteria, and as usual from Monera, fungi, plantae and Animalia. In this way, the sixth kingdom classification also made. But finally, we are going to study about the five kingdom classification which was given by R.H. Whittaker, which was made by R.H. Whittaker. That is Protista. Protista we are discussing. Next, Monera. Next, fungi, plantae, Animalia. These are the different categories we are going to discuss under the diversity in living world. Now, if you observe the Aristotle, Linnaeus or Haeckel, what they were made for the classification is based on only on few characters. They made classification based on few characteristics in view. They made this type of classification. That's why these three scientists made classification is called as artificial system of classification. What it is called? Artificial system of classification. Why it is called as artificial system of classification? Means they classified based on only few characters. Some characters they considered to classify. That's why it is called as artificial system of classification. But later on, Copeland and Whittaker, they made classification in view of by taking all the characteristic features like number of cells present in that, nucleus presence or absence, cell wall is present or not, they were photosynthetic or non-photosynthetic, what type of cell wall is present, whether they consisting of different organelles in the cell or not. Based on these all the characters, they used to classify the organisms into 5 kingdoms. That's why This two scientists made system of classification is called as artificial system of classification. What it is called as a artificial system of classification. Understand? These are two types of classifications over there. One is artificial system of classification and the Copeland and Whittaker's these two scientists made a classification was called natural system of classification. Natural system of classification that was made by Whittaker and Copeland. Why it is called as natural system of classification? They have taken all the characteristic features in their account. And what characteristic features they have considered for classification is, if you observe, presence of cell wall, presence of nucleus, nutrition, what type of nutrition they will perform, and organelles, whether they consisting of different membrane bound organelles in the cell or not. Based on these characteristic features, these two scientists, Whittaker and Copeland, made the classification. That's why it is called as natural system of classification. In this way, we can see that entire organisms are classified into 5 kingdoms, and which was widely accepted by Whittaker's classification. Under that, Protista, Monera, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. These are the 5 kingdoms which was made by Whittaker, and we are going to study this all one by one. Understand? So in next part we will discuss about Whittaker's classification one by one.